Hello and welcome once again to the show that fuels your appetite for adrenaline and alternative sports. Coming up, we're back in the southern French Alps for our second report from the latest stage of the FIS Freestyle Europa Cup. Then we've got news from Stop 5 of the Red Bull Cliff Diving World Championships from the US and BMX action from the Red Bull Frame Reaction in Amsterdam. All that to come, but first we take you back to Germany for highlights of the most recent edition of the Stihl Timbersports World Championship. This week we look at the team event.
Stuttgart, a metropolis in the south of Germany. The city is the capital of a region with around 3 million inhabitants. A place where history and tradition go hand in hand with modern technology. Stuttgart, the home of timber sports, is this year's host for the Stihl Timbersports World Championship 2013. Here in the ultra-modern Porsche Arena, the mighty platform for this mega event is being built. It takes 7 days to convert 15 truckloads of stage, light, and sound equipment into the most spectacular stage ever built for a Stihl Timbersports World Championship. The 9th World Championships, which finds itself in the home of Stihl, is the biggest and best to date. Finally, everything is ready. The fans pour into the sold-out arena. Over 10,000 spectators follow the team and single competitions. "21 national teams enter the arena. Around 120 athletes have traveled to the home of Timbersports in Stuttgart, Germany. That's a new record for the number of entries. The 4 team members tackle the 4 disciplines like in a relay race. First up is stock saw. Then it's on to the first axe discipline, the underhand chop. Followed by the single buck. And last but not least, the standing block chop. It's a sudden death contest, and the losing team will be eliminated. We start with Heat 2 in the qualification round, Germany versus Poland. As the athletes take their place at each of the 4 disciplines on stage, the atmosphere in the Porsche Arena is electric.
Get set.
Stock saw is looking very good for both teams. They are neck and neck coming to the bottom of that first block, and it goes to the underhand chop. Germany looks like they're having a little bit of trouble here as Poland is really rocking through that block, and after that, it's on to single buck. Germany making up time on the single buck, and Robert Ebner for Germany brings it home with a super finish. Team Germany defeat the Polish team with a strong finish. The slow-mo of Robert Ebner's final swing and standing block chop. Germany takes a place in the quarterfinals where the competition starts to get really tough. Yeah, the next team will probably be America, and of course that's going to be really hard, but I think they will do it. Somehow. I hope. Maybe we can get stoked up by the support of the fans and do it 2 or 3 seconds quicker.
Ja, dieses Anfeuern vom Publikum mitnehmen und dann nochmal 1, 2, 3 Sekunden mehr raushauen.
Next heat coming up, the Czech Republic versus Australia. The Aussies took 3rd place last year. The Czech Martin Komarek and Brad DeLosa from Australia making their last preparations for the standing block chop.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Again, a good safe start for both teams, and it looks very even as they head towards the underhand. Australia pulling ahead in the underhand, and they keep the advantage as they head towards single buck. A late start in single buck is a big problem, and it looks like DeLosa is going to hold on to the lead in standing block as he starts to destroy it, and he is through. A clear victory for the Australian favorites in the heat.
And the winner is Australia.
Let's take a look back at the slow-mo here of this win for Australia. The final last swings and super technique by Brad DeLosa right here on the standing block chop. One final stroke and he is through clean. The next heat, the reigning champions, New Zealand, take on the Austrians. New Zealand with the Timbersports legend Jason Wynyard are the clear favorites in this one.
Hands on the wood, get set.
Great start for Austria here. Look at this, New Zealand struggling on the stock saw, nearly 4 seconds behind as they go to the underhand. New Zealand working hard to try and catch up, and it looks like they are going to almost bring it even at the underhand chop. Come down to Jason Wynyard. Oh, but he has a big mistake there with the single buck, but a similar problem happens for Austria, and now it's down to Adam Lowe with a final blow. It's just beautiful. A clear win for New Zealand. Here's that mistake from Jason Wynyard once again in slow-mo, but at the end of the heat, it was a good win for New Zealand. The Kiwis go through to the next round, and the Austrians are eliminated.
We didn't cut well, we didn't cut anywhere near our potential, and we all made mistakes, so we need to eliminate mistakes and go forward.
The next duel is between the Swiss and the English. The Swiss team finished as best European team last year in 4th place. Good even start for both teams. They're neck and neck going towards the underhand chop. The Swiss now taking a little bit of a lead here. Getting off the underhand chop, they pull ahead. Into single buck, and it's England coming back strong. The Swiss still leading at the standing block, but England catches up and takes it at the line. It's a photo finish. A great finish by Spike Milton. And it goes to a picture at the end. Watch these final blows. Spike Milton just getting it. Next up, USA versus Benelux. The runners-up from 2012 have turned out with a strong team again this year.
Hands on the wood, get set.
Good start for both teams here in the stock saw. It looks like Benelux with a slight lead as we head to the underhand chop. Arden Kogar, the big man from the USA, working hard to try and catch up, and he does. He takes the lead for the US. A big advantage for them in single buck now. And look at this, they are through very quickly in single buck, moving on to the standing block chop. And they are just attacking this final part of the foursome. A clear victory for the USA against Benelux. So the USA shows its domination and goes through to the quarterfinals. The last heat in the qualification, Canada take on Italy. Last year, Canada finished 6th and Italy were 14th.
Hands on the wood, get set.
And we're off. Looks like a slight advantage for Canada after the stock saw, now to underhand. Marcel Dupuis increasing the advantage for Canada. Stepping to the other side quickly. And he is through first. Single buck. Canada looking strong, holding their lead. Standing block chop, Mitch Hewitt very strong in this discipline. And he is going to bring it home for Canada. A clear victory for the Canucks. So Canada take the final place in the quarterfinals, and the Italians say, ciao. Action and excitement in Stuttgart. The best 8 teams enter the next round of the Stihl Timbersports World Championships 2013, and we'll be right back after this break.
And still to come, we've got ski cross action from France. The cliff divers make a splash in the US. And we've got some very talented BMX riders in action in Holland. See you in a couple of minutes.